The National Capital Radio and Television Museum is another one of those small treasures happily ensconced in Prince George's County, just waiting to be discovered. Actually, thousands of folks have discovered it, and you'll want to also. Housed in a historic home in Bowie, the museum is full of wonderful broadcasting artifacts. Familiar if you're older, intriguing if you're younger. The executive director and curator, Brian Ballinger, has been involved from the beginning.
Our mission is to try to document the history of radio and television and to educate the public on the importance of broadcasting and the importance of radio and TV in the American homes.
Radio and television are pretty important in everybody's life.
Oh, absolutely they're important. They're a very important part of our lives. And if you think about it, whenever there's any kind of a crisis in our nation, things like Pearl Harbor, President Kennedy's assassination, 9/11, what's the first thing we all do? We turn on our radios, we turn on our television sets to try to find out what's happening. And when something like that happens, we're glued to our radios and we're glued to our TVs. It's a critical part of our lives, particularly in times of crisis. But of course, in between times, we enjoy the entertainment.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Most of the wonderful things you have in this museum, were most of them donated?
When we first opened the museum, just about everything was on loan from private collections, but we've had so many wonderful, generous donors that today just about everything in this museum is donated. I think probably 98% of the things that you see now have been donated.
Some of these radios and televisions are in beautiful furniture. You don't find that anymore today?
Well, that's right. Today, very few people think of buying a radio because it's a beautiful piece of furniture, whereas, for example, in 1938, when this radio was made, it was the centerpiece of the living room. After the dinner dishes were done, the father and mother and the kids would gather in the living room, turn on the radio, listen to radio programs together. The mother might be knitting or ironing, the father might be reading the evening paper, the kids would be playing on the floor with their toys, and the whole family would be listening to the radio together. So it brought the family together.
This museum is free to the public. Of course, donations are always welcome and is open Fridays from 10 to 5 and Saturdays and Sundays from 1 to 5. The museum is bursting at the seams with broadcasting history and treasures, but until it finds a larger space, it's at Mitchellville and Mount Oak Roads in Bowie. Get more information at the website radiohistory.org.